Welcome to a video tutorial from Valentia Photography Workshops and me, Stephen Power. This one is about an introduction to the sky replacement tool in Photoshop 2021. Hi, first of all I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed to the Valentia Photography Workshops channel in recent weeks. I'm really grateful to you, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so by clicking the little red square, and I'll keep updating the channel on a regular basis with tutorial videos on all aspects of photography. And if you leave me a message, I'll try and respond in terms of helping you with anything you want to ask a question about, or even providing a video on a topic that a number of you would like to see. In this video I'm going to look at the sky replacement tool in the new version of Adobe Photoshop 2021, which is version 22, which was released in October 2020. So if that's not confusing enough, we'll get on and have a look at the tool. Lots of landscape photographers are keen to replace skies, particularly if the photograph that they've taken has got a dull sky or a flat sky, or they just want to make the photos a little bit more dramatic. I'm a fan of being as natural as possible, but sometimes it is helpful to drop a sky in. What you need to be careful of though is that the shadows on the image are going in the same direction as the light from the sky, so watch out for that when you're dropping in skies. Of course, it's something that's always been possible to do in Photoshop, although it can be a little bit tricky, and sometimes the sky and the image don't match up very well and don't sit together very well. And what this new sky replacement tool seems to have done is make the blending of the sky almost seamless at times, but there are some adjustments that you need to make. It also gives you a little library of skies to work with, and you can add your own as well. So I'm going to have a look at those now. So we get to the sky replacement tool by going into the edit menu and then scrolling down to sky replacement, which opens this panel, and we can see that there's a thumbnail of a sky already here, and because the preview selection is checked by default, that sky will apply itself automatically to the photograph, and you can see it's made a fairly good job already. Now if we click the downward arrow to the right of that thumbnail, we get a list of skies, and there are 3 default folders in the panel: blue skies, spectacular skies, and sunsets. Photoshop has supplied a series of sky images under each of those groups. If we move the slider at the bottom of this second panel, we can make the thumbnails smaller so that we can see most of the skies in each of the groups, or we can make them larger to get a better look at them, and even go beyond 100% if we need to, although I can't really see the value of that. If we look at the bottom here, we've got a create new group folder option, we've got a create new sky option, and we've also got a bin should we want to remove any of the skies or groups that we've selected. So let's bring in a sky that I created. I'll click the plus sign in a square icon, and that brings me to the desktop and my skies folder. Click a sky that I want to use. I'll try the medium blue sky with streaky clouds. Click open. That will render and then bring up a box for me to rename the file if I want to do that. Click OK, and that will appear in the folder that I've highlighted. So in this case, it's appeared in the My Skies folder, and it's applied itself automatically to the image. Let's click away from that and we'll come back to the controls panel, and we'll have a look at some of the ways in which we can manipulate the sky. First thing I want to show you is that if we look at the tools on the top left of the panel, we've got a sky move tool, we've got a sky brush tool which extends or reduces the sky area, and we've got the hand tool and a zoom tool. It's very useful to start by looking at the sky move tool because there's often more sky than would first appear, and so you can choose which area of the sky fits best. Other tools on the left hand side are the sky brush tool, so we can paint in the sky, particularly on complex images where bits of the sky didn't appear. You can paint the sky in or out by holding the Alt key if the sky appears over part of the image that you don't want it to. The hand tool is for moving around the image when you're zoomed in, and the magnifying glass, obviously the zoom tool, is used for zooming in on the image, although I prefer to use the scroll wheel. Then we've got the shift edge slider, which moves the edges of the sky. So you can see that I've basically taken some of the sky out, and then going to the other end you would extend it and onto the image itself. Fade edge basically softens the sky where it meets the image. The brightness slider does exactly what it says on the slider and changes the brightness of the sky, very bright or very dark, and the temperature will cool it down, make it bluer or almost green, and warmer at the other end, in this case magenta. Okay, let's have a look at one or two other skies in this area for good measure. There's some very nice dramatic blue skies, which I think works very well with this image, which by the way is of Skellig Michael, which is just off the coast of Kerry in Ireland, very close to where I live. And there are also some very nice spectacular skies. They work very well if you like that sort of thing. Personally, I try to keep the landscape images as natural as possible, but also as eye-catching as possible. So for example, if you have an image like this which is predominantly grey sky, certainly suits the Kerry weather some of the time, but then we might want to try and warm it up a little bit if we can, just to see, if that makes a difference. The last group is the sunsets, but it will be very much choose the sky to suit the image as far as you can. I'll cancel this out and look at a different image now, a black and white image, just to be different really, and come back into the sky replacement tool just to show you how you can be a little bit more adventurous with this. And I was quite pleased to find a rainbow in this image, which is predominantly black and white, and that really seems to suit black and white landscape very well. There's a lot more to this tool. It's not simply a question of grab an image, stick a sky on it and hope for the best. It will take some time for you to experiment with it and to get the most out of it, but I hope you've enjoyed this quick overview, and I look forward to seeing you again on Valentia Photography Workshops, and please leave me a comment or a question if you have one. Bye for now.